Hi, how's it? God answers prayer, you guys. So, I have been worried. Please go check out the previous part to gauge your bearings. The Bible says, why worry when worrying is not even going to add a day to your life? Well, worrying add a day to your life. Turns out not. Okay, if anything, it might just shorten your life. Okay? Yeah, no, do not be anxious for anything, but in all things by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, make your requests known to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Okay? And finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is just, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, whatever is excellent, whatever, if there be any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think on these things. So let us think about that which is rather better instead of that which causes you to fret and to front and to shake like a leaf. Yo, Psalm 91 that I read to you, I believe 2 parts ago. The Lord has fulfilled it all up in my grill within just 1 hour of me second guessing him. He displayed it to me as fact. So every second week I have this like skincare routine that I partake in where I grab vitamin C oil and a bit of retinol, and I mix it in my face and I oil cleanse with it. Okay, I oil cleanse with it because I believe it makes my face plump and shine and come out, and it also lessens any acne scarring that I might have. And this like oil cleansing, rubbing in of this like oil in my face is a process that sometimes can take me half an hour because it's so soothing, it's so therapeutic that I just kind of stand in front of the mirror, just, you know, in these circular motions, just putting oil on my face. Right? Thank God it hasn't broken me out or whatever. I have experimented successfully with it. What has broken me out, however, is adapalene, but we're not going to get into that. So I'm here, half an hour, all of it, under normal circumstances though. Normal circumstances. I take only like maybe 5 minutes in the bathroom in the morning after waking up. I go in there, brush my teeth, pee, wash my face, rinse it, get out. Okay? But today I was on that like massage the face tip for like a whole half an hour. And as I'm in the house, I'm of course now listening to every ounce of audible stimuli coming into my eardrums from the house. I'm overhearing my mom on the phone with colleagues. I'm overhearing my little sister, like, I don't know, doing whatever she's doing in her bedroom. And you know how it's like all dead quiet in the house because there's no Wi-Fi, there's no entertainment, you know, like running, you know, for these people because there's no Wi-Fi. I've been explaining that. I literally labored all day long speaking about black men, speaking about marriage and patience and all that jazz to get to this point that you might understand God has sent his angels concerning me that I might not strike my foot against a stone. Like what? I'm in front of the mirror on this tape, half an hour, wanted to get out of the house real fast because I tend to hate overhearing my mom's conversations because my mom is grievously and egregiously sinful against God, and many of the people she talks to grieve me, annoy me, and with whom the people with whom she communicates also sometimes together they're just colluding in rubbish. So I don't like to overhear her. I just try to avoid, you know, that's how I feel. Whenever my mom is on the phone, I don't want to hear it. The sooner I can get out of the house, the better. It's actually good because I got myself earphones the other day. I should probably just like listen to like some music in my ears using my cell phone or something so I don't have to hear anything they say, because sometimes I get very hurt, very grieved by her conversations. I don't like overhearing, but today it was providentially ordered that I should overhear. I'm in the kitchen and I'm telling myself, I'm a survivor, I'm gonna make it, I'm not gonna stop, I'm gonna love Jesus harder. Like, I woke up in the morning on some Rambo tip. Remember, I had a strategy to go to the mall to upload my content after editing online, and I had a whole strategy as well as to how I'm going to edit without there being internet. You guys will recall that. I also come from explaining to you guys that we come from a weekend where they got to experience what life without internet is like, and yet with this opioid tantamount addiction to internet, they're going to act like it's not a thing. And I spoke about how it is that they're going to repent as soon as they realize that this thing is also hurting them, even though they're actually going out of their way to hurt me. So I'm on the phone. So in the morning, I woke up with that mindset on some, I'm strong. Even though my heart was broken, I'm like, I'm strong. I'm going to survive this. I'm going to survive this. I'm going to survive this. And this morning when I woke up, I noticed that even that, you know, Wi-Fi little icon that you see at the top of your screen was off, right? It was off altogether. I was like, whoa, now they also unplugged it from the wall. Well, what's going on here? Why are you unplugging it from the wall if that old Vodacom is going to come here and correct the Wi-Fi less situation because there's a technical issue? Remember, Yeah, if you've been with me all this time, you will understand what I'm talking about. So it really sort of caused my heart to sink, because I expected the technicians were going to come and fix this now that it is Monday. I imagined that they would come at a maximum on Tuesday, because this is something that you don't just, sit around with, you don't just take it in your stride as a client when internet has been chopped off for so long, because it's like such an essential service, right? Anyway, whatever. So I'm telling myself, even if they don't fix the Wi-Fi, I have a strategy. I've just been told by the Lord of the Universe, Psalm 91. I read it, but then I'm telling myself, I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna love Jesus harder. And that is precisely why it is that Psalm 91 was relevant. Because no matter what they were gonna do, I was going to stick to Jesus, including driving to the mall just to upload content. So Psalm 91 was already in operation, but I didn't realize that I had already been delivered. In his pinions, in the shadow of his wings. I was already there, guys. Like, hey, but I'm a survivor. That's what I'm thinking. I'm strengthening myself, in my core, telling, like, just already envisioning my trips to the mall to upload content. And here it is that I'm in the bathroom, oil cleansing. It took me a good half an hour to finish. I lose track of time because it's so soothing. Okay. Very well. The whole time I was listening to conversations that my mom was having on the phone, and the first conversation she was having, I was still on some, I'm not gonna stop, I'm gonna work harder, right? She was on the phone with a colleague of sorts that works in like the a region of her business that deals with cell phone contracts, basically for staff members. And she was asking this man, because my mom, I don't know what's up with that. It's she always puts everybody on speaker. She can never just speak with a person on the phone like that. You always hear what the person is saying and her, right? And this man that she's speaking to, she's busy asking what options that she have. Is it possible for her to go prepaid with what do you call this, with her data in her cell phone device, because she needs to hotspot from her phone in order to be able to work her job, and her company has of course given her a certain amount of data, and the only way that she can continue to work in her job is if she has internet. But like, since there's like this interruption in the house type establishment thing, the internet of which I believe the company might have subsidized, right? There's this like interruption. So is it possible for her to go prepaid so that she can have lots and lots of data from like Vodacom, the contract with MTN? I don't know what the discussion was. I'm not even going to get into the details of it, but basically she was asking this man that, is there a way for her to go prepaid, because she needs to be able to hotspot onto her laptop and basically have data. And I remember in my head, wagging my head, in my mind, wagging my head as I'm busy oil cleansing, thinking, Corey, you would much rather like hotspot on a cell phone that might run out of data than just purchase, for crying out loud, a service for Wi-Fi so that we can all be restored. Montlu, you're stubborn. And however, in my heart, I'm thinking, I'm a survivor. I'm gonna go to the mall. At this stage, I then overheard her as she's speaking with this man in her company that works for this particular department that helps with staff contracts with like telco. Dropped the bomb that dropped my heart into my stomach. And if I was in oil cleansing for half an hour, I would have concluded that that's what's going on. Okay. She then said, because I cancelled the contract with Vodacom, and I know that she did that with Wi-Fi. I know that they did that, but I expected that the contract was supposed to cancel at the end of June, right? Like I've been speculating all this time based on the other conversation that I overheard, and she confirmed to this man that she also expected Vodacom to cancel it at the end of June, but it turns out the premium that they took was billed in arrears as opposed to in advance. So therefore it died. The whole service died at the end of, what month are we in? May. We're in June now. It died at the end of May. So the 1st of May was when this whole glitch basically commenced. Not glitch, but death of internet here commenced on the 1st of May. I was like, in my heart, like the street, my heart like sank from my chest to my stomach, because to me it was like, whoa, this has already started. I don't have a month. You know how I've been talking about they're going to restore it, the technicians are going to come, and then it's going to die at the end of July, and that's when I'm going to have to start going to the mall. I remember thinking, oh my goodness, I have to start now. So after editing my content, I have got to now put it on my phone and start uploading from the mall. I was so sad. I was so sad because I still expected to have a month, because I was planning a contingency to save for myself a library on the side of images, footage, you will recall, right? So that I can always have it, that when I'm working offline, I will be able to use things that are already offline. You guys recall the conversations if you've been following me this entire time. So I was like, so basically it's over. If I want images, I'm gonna have to go to the mall and download them on my cell phone, bring them here. I won't even have the plethora of library that I had, and I will never ever be able to use the remainder of my Filmora subscription online. I'm never going to be able to do that. I'm always going to have to work offline all the way up until my subscription ends, and I'm going to have to accept that I can't even use its effects as filters by at least saving them offline and making sure that they now operate offline. It's over. There's no more internet coming. There's no more internet coming. But I'm singing, I'm a survivor. Long story short, I'm saying in my heart, I'm holding on to God no matter what. Ain't nobody gonna move me. But, you know, at the same time, I was like, yo, God, whoa, like, how did this hit me off guard, you know? How did this just come at me like this? Like, ain't nobody told me about this. You could have given me warning in advance, you know? Why did the internet glitch and twitch around the 30th, and not so much the 31st, you know? What was that? Glitch and twitch. And then next thing on the 1st of May, it's gone. 1st of June, it's gone. Could I not have been given more time? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? But anyway, I guess it is what it is. I'm a survivor. And I'm out here now planning. I telling myself in my heart, I have a plan. I have a plan. And I've communicated the plan I have to you guys. So essentially, my mother confirmed that she made a decision at the beginning of May to cancel Wi-Fi. She did. And she spoke with my cousin. You will recall that conversation I told you guys about on the phone, and I overheard that conversation. It's why I hate listening to my mom's conversations, because it's just a bunch of plotters and schemers that are breaking my heart. And she told my cousin, I told my daughter, the other one, my little sister, I told her to basically make arrangements with Vodacom herself to get some kind of data or Wi-Fi, because I am out. I am no longer paying a premium. I am not going to be paying for Wi-Fi anymore. So basically, my little sister was supposed to make her own arrangements for internet. My mom, her own arrangements for internet. And for me, I imagine that this thing is slapping me straight away, and nobody is even telling me there's not going to be internet, mind you. There was a time, and because my mom made this decision already at the beginning of May, she could have just told me, especially during the time when I was busy taking care of her. She could have just told me when she was sick that there's no Wi-Fi from the end of June. You might want to start making plans for yourself. There's not going to be internet, just putting that out there. She was just going to let me walk into this dark zone by myself, unbeknownst to myself that it was coming. But instead, it came early. In and of herself, she did not anticipate it. That's why there's no TV in the house. There's no Netflix. It's dead quiet. She has not made arrangements for DSTV, nothing. God made her basically misunderstand Vodacom, who said we're going to cut you off at the end of the month of your last premium, because she imagined the premium was paid in advance, but instead it was paid in arrears. It was paying for the month that she had endured, and it got taken, and that was it. But however, she thought she still had a month left, and the Lord was like, I did it that way so she would get a foretaste of what life is going to be like without Wi-Fi. The Lord did not allow my mother to make arrangements for TV, basically, through DSTV first, before going dead quiet, because she would have been more recalcitrant at that stage. He ordered this past weekend to basically give them a foretaste, a foreshadowing, a glimpse of what life without Wi-Fi is, but without my mom making alternative arrangements, without getting DSTV, without any of that. Just basically Vodacom going dead, and with her not expecting it, and her being unable to do anything until Monday came, because don't nobody want to work on the weekend. Okay, cool. Apparently, allegedly, this weekend was so torturous for my mom. Never mind my little sister, because decisions my mom makes are just, I'm gonna do it my way. She's very Frank Sinatra in that way. Like, if she makes a nefarious decision, she sticks with it, whether or not it is destructive. And I told you guys that my mom only ever does differently when something slaps her upside the head, slaps her upside bad. She won't care if it slaps me bad, my little sister bad, nobody. Like, if it hits her like a ton of bricks, then she's like, aye, yes, I've got plans that don't make sense, but not like this. Gotta find another way to deal with this girl. her food issue. Remember, there was a time when she was stopping to buy food, and I had a whole series where I expanded on that nefarious diabolical activity. And she got sick. She fell heavily with bronchitis, and like a dog. I have already described, like, she was just rolling. She might as well have rolled on the floor instead of walked. She was incapable of taking care of herself. She needed somebody that would like 100% totally cater to her every need. She could not even walk, vomiting every 2 seconds because she compromised her immune system by not feeding it. Ever since then, guys, my mom has always loved to cook a very but what I want to say is elaborate meal with all different kinds of, like, you know, weird and wonderful vegetables on the plate. This time around, she's gone above and beyond and then some. It's like she tried to compromise my diet. And I've been taking my vitamin drinks that I showed you guys, right? And I'm still healthy. Out of all of them, I'm the only one not sick. Those drinks supplemented the season of famine that I was in. And it caused her to be so sick that now not only has she gone back to cooking a full meal, but she's gone above and beyond. Like, if you were to see the food that she cooked this past weekend, you would think there was an event that we are hosting down here in these streets. You would think that there are guests coming and they's about to eat some dinner. She has invested in a healthy, balanced diet for herself because she recognizes that she is entering into retirement and does not have medical aid. She only now has a hospital plan. So if she falls sick with something really bad, like, you know, something that needs hospitalization, surgery, she will be able to go to a private hospital. But when she gets like a common cold, a cough, bronchitis like recently, first you gotta go to a GP, then they will only, if at all matter calls for it, check you into a hospital. Do you understand? Then maybe you can go to a private facility only on that date because you've got a hospital plan. But in the run up to, you have to spend some money at a GP so that your GP can refer you to a hospital. And my mother realized that she doesn't have money to keep on paying on doctors. If she can avoid a doctor's visit, then she's better off. She realized that she has got to take care of her physical health to minimize the possibility of going to see a general practitioner. My aunt has got all these connections with all these different unsavory doctors that are happy to break the law for a little bit of money, that give her prescription medication when she has not seen them, and she hooks people up all over the family with such doctors as these. I was tempted to use these services of my aunt because I want tretinoin like no man's business, so that I could, like, you know, deal with my acne and anti-aging issues once and for all. But, you know, God is not quite satisfied with shoddy, underhanded business practices, so I can't use my auntie's services with illegal doctors, black market doctors. But my mom has been making calls to my auntie on some, I'm asthmatic and I need this ventilator, and there are certain meds that I need that, you know, come by prescription, but I don't want to have to see a doctor for it. I'm happy to pay for the meds, but not the medical consultation. So is there a way that you can push prescription for me, type thing? And my auntie's like, y'all see what I can do. Guys, my family full of crooks, right? Like, whatever, moving on. So anyway, please don't quote me on this. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm overhearing my mother speaking about these shoddy doctors that, like, frankly have to be disbarred because they are contributing to the corruption of the country. They are the part of the problem that we have, all the problems. And she's making all these arrangements because she's entering into the series, season of her life. Okay, and I'm like, she's busy making arrangements all over the show to make sure that she has everything that she needs should she have a medical issue. But because she knows that she can no longer just, you know, hop into a doctor's office when she has a small little sniffle because medical aid will cover it, because she knows this now, she has seen the value of the counsel that I gave her during the time when she was sick, because she only ever got better when I gave her advice and I told her that food is medicine. I don't know how many times I kept on saying it, food is medicine, and she saw that actually work. She saw it work. And so now she is telling herself that while I might want to punish Karabo and make her life a little bit tough, I can't do it in a way that's going to hurt me. Everything is about her, okay? I fell violently ill with bronchitis after messing with food. I now realize that food is keeping me healthy. I am in my elderly years. I don't have medical aid, only hospital plan. I have got to minimize doctor's visits as best as possible throughout the remaining years that I have left here on the earth. And it turns out my daughter showed me, even though I don't appreciate her, unsung hero is she, that if I just eat right, I might be able to avoid as many doctors as I possibly can. My mom finally got to learn at the age of 63, going on 64, that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. She has been underestimating how her well-balanced diet all throughout her life has actually kept her in a bunch. And she found out for the first time when she was being spiteful that food really is medicine. I'm a massive advocate of well eating because many of these lifestyle issues that people face are because of diet. When people change their diets, many of the plethora of issues, symptoms, inflammatory conditions in the body subside because they started to eat right. And my mom has been eating well relatively for all of her life because she was raised by a woman that cooked well too, my grandmother. I spoke about that, right? So she loves fruits, she loves vegetables, she doesn't know what they do for her body. She's besotted with peanut butter. She has no idea what it does for her body. All she knows is that she loves to eat it. So now she's realized what it does for her body. So now we are no longer experiencing a little bit of a famine or a drought in the refrigerator where there's no food cooked. And no longer are we experiencing a drought or a famine in the fruit basket where the bananas are at, where the oranges and the peaches are at. Like now fruit is in abundance every week without fail, and then some. She has started buying avocados in excess. That's why I was able to have that avocado drink, and God knows I love me some avo. She has started buying, guys, like, you know, just experimenting with different kinds of very colorful foods because she saw that when she took my advice during the time that she was sick, even before taking her medicine, she got better. Well, the same thing that happened with that scenario, the same thing that happened with food healing her before even her antibiotics started to heal her, has happened with Wi-Fi. I bet you know where I'm going with this. I told you, people on the earth have got an opioid-like addiction to the internet, and they've got an opioid-like addiction to things which the internet provides, like Netflix, like TikTok, like, you get my point. And when you have abundantly been blessed with these things, and you can just stream at your leisure, when then suddenly you've got to check how much data you have, how many data bundles you've got before you get depleted, when all of a sudden you can't use the same data on your phone to stream on a whole 30-40 minute long show on Netflix, but you have to be sparing. No, you gonna start to get some withdrawal. And I thought it would take like all of June. I thought that Vodacom was gonna come and correct the issue. They didn't, because according to the one conversation she had, it's over, to a point where they had to unplug Vodacom and everything off the wall. They unplugged it off the wall. So now we're in dry, arid boulevard. Like, it's over. Like, it's nothing. It's quiet. Like, we're thinking, when you go in the house, guys, they are crickets. You can hear them. The way that these people were so reliant on internet that any sound coming out of the house was something that was that was enabled by the internet. Like, every sound that came from the house, now I realize, was enabled by the internet. You know, Internet of Things is a whole thing. Like, if my mother was more advanced in her purchase of household appliances, I'm pretty sure that even the fridge would be a smart fridge. The microwave would be a smart microwave. But she's a little bit more kind of backward and archaic in that regard. So she doesn't have smart appliances, but she certainly does operate a smart bedroom. And so too does my little sister. Like, speaker, everything that they uses the internet. So every last bleep, every last like twitch, every last like sound, voice, communicate is coming from something enabled by the internet. And so it has been dead quiet for the whole weekend, such that even though they might have gone out to expand their horizons in terms of entertainment in the outside world, when they came home, it was still eerie, ice-like, like Antarctica, like they were Eskimos in what their house would be the tantamount of an igloo. And it got to her. It was like the bronchitis that she got because she stopped buying food to get to me. She realized that internet, like absence of it, is the equivalent of a life-threatening illness that in the absence of eating a carrot or two is going to knock you out and put you 6 feet under. Because that bronchitis would have killed my mom if she didn't get medical intervention. If she did not get enabled really fast, she would not have recovered at the speed that with which she recovered. She saw that this here is almost as life-threatening, if not as life-threatening, as bronchitis. because of not eating food. She saw that taking away Wi-Fi is similar to taking away a balanced diet from the table. And I survived the season when there was no food because, I got these drinks. I have these contingency plans that God always just goes in advance and hooks up. So I'm the only one that's not sick from the spate of famine in the house of food that happened. My sister's coughing like no man's business right now. My mom is recovering from bronchitis. I'm the only one that is still healthy. 1,000 may fall on your left, 10,000 on your right. Did not come near me. Here it is that I am already with some kind of a hard knock contingency plan, you guys, to survive the absence of internet. And I'm telling myself, I'm a survivor. I already have a plan. They don't. And before I could even effect my plan, my mother capitulated because she got Icelandic, she got Antarctic, she got like these freezing living conditions inside the house that she was like, this could actually end my life. I can't even fathom retirement when now I'm not going to work every day and I can't have the kinds of noises that internet enabled in my house. My little sister's little TikToks running or watching Good Doctor from her bedroom, and my mom's watching of Netflix or even just like streaming on her cell phone, having used local Wi-Fi in the house. Guys, it caused my mother to immediately realize that, okay, gotta try plan like Z, maybe even Alpha, because A to Z is depleted in trying to deal with Karabo. And all this is because of some stupid man that has messed with the minds of my family to try and punish me with things that they can't afford to punish me with. And in so doing that, the Lord has taken me under his wings, shelter of the Almighty, protected me, made sure that 1,000 fall on my left and on my right, but it does not come near me. I'm the only one here with a contingency plan for internet. None of them. And that lack of contingency has caused my mom such a hard knock withdrawal in just this past weekend that I overheard the next part of the conversation that she had this time around with a colleague / friend as to the alternative arrangements that she is now finally making to hook up another source of internet. Let's move to the next part.